Hi everyone, I'm so excited you decided to click on this page and get a little bit of motivation. My name is Ariel and this is Positive A channel that was created to help motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to become the best version of you could possibly be. So with that said, let's get into it. Today's message is titled Birth. And at the beginning of every message, I like to read a good verse out of the good book, the Bible. This is something I do daily. And I highly encourage that you start doing it too, because the Bible truly has every single solution to every problem that you're going through. So we're reading out of 1 John 4, verse 7, and it reads, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. What was John saying here? He is saying the true essence, the nature, the heart, and the spirit of our Father God is love. He loves you, he loves me, he loves the strangers on the street and everyone connected to us because we are all here. That's our Father God. That is who he is. He cannot be anything other than love. And if you know your Father God, you're going to love just like him. That's what John was saying when he was speaking this verse right here. Do you not know? It says in John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son for you and for me. That means our Father God stepped off his throne in heaven, came down here, birthed himself into a human being to come down here and die a gruesome death so that we may stand spotless before him because he loved us so much. So how much more can you love your neighbor? How much more can you love your enemy? How much more can you love that person that did you wrong? That's what John was saying. You will never know your Father God. You can never be born of him. You can never say you are a child of God if you don't love like your Father God. I mean, our Father God shows us fresh mercy and grace every single day. So why aren't you doing it? It's because you're allowing the enemy to get inside your head, get inside your heart, and in your soul, to look at individuals who done you wrong, to look at somebody and judge them. That's why it says in John 10:10, the only agenda of the enemy is to kill, steal, and destroy. He wants to destroy that heart of yours. He wants to kill your dreams. He wants to kill your mind. He wants to steal every part of the love that you have on the inside of you so that you can't give it to anybody else, so that you can't display it to anybody else. But Jesus, the one that came down here and died for us, like it says in John 3:16, came to give us life and life more abundantly, came to give us love and love more abundantly. That's why in Genesis 1:26, our Father God said, let us make man in our image. And our image means the essence of who we are. Who am I? Our Father God said, I am love. And that's why he created us, so we can love one another, so we can love him, so we can be just like him. He wants us to walk around displaying him on this earth. And how do we do that? By loving one another, by being born of him. Like it says here, everyone who loves is born of our Father God, knows our Father God. The only way you can be birthed of your Father God is if you're showing grace and mercy to that individual that talked about you, that was judging you last week, that was judging you 5 minutes ago, that person that hurt your heart 10 years ago. He's saying, forgive them and love them the way I love you. Forgive them and let it go and show them mercy the same way I showed you mercy and allowed you to wake up this morning because I chose you, because I chose you to be my child. And since I chose you to be my child, you need to be birthed of me. And in order to be birthed of me, you need to love like me. In Jeremiah 1:5, it says, our Father God knew us before we were formed in our mother's womb. If he knew us before we were formed in our mother's womb, that means he was telling us about the love that he wants us to demonstrate here on earth. So why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we being the embodiment, the essence, the true nature, the purity of our Father God? which is love. Why are we walking around so hateful? Why are we walking around so judgmental? That's because the enemy is up here in our minds. The enemy has downloaded his lies in our minds, which downloaded into our hearts, which took over our souls and is crushing our spirits. So our spirits want to love, but our souls are so filled with darkness that it's covering the light that our Father God wants to shine through us. So we need to start operating more in that. We need to start remembering what our Father God was speaking to us before we were formed in our mother's womb. And what he was speaking to us was love, was peace, was joy, was harmony, was just mercy and grace. That's what he was demonstrating. That's what he was telling us to demonstrate on this earth. And the only way you can ever do that is you have to truly know him. And the only way you can truly know your Father God is if you truly love like him. So next time you see that stranger on the street that's going through a hard time, or that coworker that's not being nice to you and they're being nasty, or that sister or that brother that you feel, they talk to me crazy and they weren't nice to me and they always have attitude, show them mercy. Show them grace. Show them love the same way your Father God shows you. And guess what? You will truly be born of him. You will truly know him. And you will truly be that image that he desires for you and for me. So with that said, I hope this message encouraged you. I hope this message encouraged you to be birthed of your Father God, knowing him, loving him, and loving each and every one of his children the same way he loves you. So if this message encouraged you, I encourage you to share it, because I want to show and demonstrate and tell everybody of this great love that we have in our Father God. And if you love these messages, I encourage you to subscribe. And do not forget to comment, because I love reading your comments. I truly, truly do. And until next time, always know your Father God loves you, and so do I. Mwah!